I told you I'm here to get it, cause baby I'm in my prime. So if you want it, come with it, nobody dimming my shine. Been a long time, homie, since I first got down. Still on top of my game, forever play to the crowd. When I'm in front of a mic and I'm in the spotlight, the Gridiron, man, we taking y'all on a flight. Always coming for the hardcore, this is what I work for. Got 'em feeling for some more, they yelling encore. Verbally, I'm bringing heat to the streets. The flames spitter, my squad, nothing but winners, and you'll never see a quitter. Cause adversity is part of the plan. Just as sure as you go, always bob your head to the jam. So turn your volume up, you can see me up on your screen. Kicking knowledge like you need it, y'all some football fiends. Bringing heat at 100, we the realest around. Welcome to the Gridiron, baby, it's going down now. Like the music buzzing in amps. When I hit the end zone, fans are rocking the stands. Cause I'm an on and on until the breaking the dawn. Not Zeke, but I'ma eat the way I'm seeing the film. It's the battle hymn, homie, gonna bang in your ear. And when they hear it, they gon' know the Kings is here. On and on until the breaking the dawn. Not Zeke, but I'ma eat the way I'm seeing the film. I'm here to get mine, never gonna dwell on the past. Always moving forward, I won't take my foot off the gas. And I'm ready for the battle and whatever may come. I fight from up in the saddle, go and beat that war drum. If you want some, get some, wicked about to get dumb. Got the crowd getting loud, everybody heads sprung. Hitting hard and coming stronger like a buck from a cage. Like Micah, I'm a lion busting out of my cage. Cause y'all ain't holding me now, I'll break your bury you down. Go and check your books, cause there ain't no play to be found. They can counter what I'm bringing, you ain't figure me out. Hitting suckers from their gut to their chest and their mouth. And now we steady climbing up to the top. You trying to get on our level, they watch your ass get dropped. Yo, it's your boy on the track, the OG double G. I'm rolling with the heavy hitter, yeah, that's Jersey the King. Let's get it.
What it do, what it do, what it do, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the Gridiron. I am your host, one of your hosts, Kevin Jersey the King Wumble, and I will be joined today by my guy, football analyst Anthony Mazzoni. Gabe cannot be here today. He is at work. So Anthony is stepping in for him today and joining me. Yes, I am standing up today because, damn it, I need to. So we're going to try it a little different today. Let me know if you can hear me good. Welcome into the show. We are live on Fuel Sports Network, and if you haven't already, download the Fuel Sports Network app on your Roku and Amazon TV and devices. That's Roku TV, Amazon TV, Roku Stick, and Amazon Fire Stick. And without further ado, let me go ahead and bring in our guest host for the day, for the morning and the afternoon on East Coast. It's my friend, Governor Anthony Mazzoni. What's going on, bro? What's going on, my brother? How you doing? Y'all know I'm rocking an Aces shirt today. I'm Vegased out. You see the new banner in the background. How you feel about that Vipers banner?
That's nice, man. Looks like you got some autographs, aren't you?
Yes, it's signed by a bunch of super fans from across the Fuel family and the Fuel network. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you to Big Daddy Ed for doing that for me. I sent it out to him. I sent the flag out to him after I bought it, and then he, everywhere they went, like all the different games, all the different events that we had, he actually got everybody to sign it. So I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for that. And yeah, man, now we got it back. It's finally up in the studio. So look, Fuel West Coast Studios is looking nice. You know what I mean? We decor it out over here. It's, you know what I mean? And it's, if you see, it's centered off of the Gridiron. So, because that was the first show that I really got going and got big on. Next, we will be getting the Jersey the King show banner. Don't worry, guys. I'll have it all up. Trust and believe. So, I'm actually get a big banner made with both of them on, or with both logos on. So, Probably as big as the flag. So welcome in everybody. Hit. I know you in the comments trolling already, watching on social media on our YouTube. And if you don't know already, please go and follow the Fuel Sports Network on everywhere, like everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere, y'all. We are all over the place. And I updated everything. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit us up on the book on Facebook. Follow us on X and follow us on IG as well. You already know Fuel Sports Network. And you can hit us up on fuelsportsnetwork.com. Go check out the website as well. And then you can also follow the show's socials at The Gridiron on X, the Gridiron Show on Facebook. Subscribe to us at The Gridiron Show on YouTube. You can follow us at The Gridiron Show, just one show on IG, sorry. And it's The Gridiron Show on TikTok and Gridiron on Spotify. So we got a lot to talk about today, as you see in the description. We got some UFL college draft recap. Plus, we've had some more UFL to NFL signings as well, plus some NFL signings, which is huge. That's another reason why my man Anthony is rocking that Miami Dolphins gear in colors, of course, because my man Tua got his bag. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, we got a lot to talk about. And then, of course, the Indoor War playoffs, the IFL playoffs are here. And we had a game last night, so we're going to get into all of that as well. So, again, happy Saturday to everyone. Welcome into the show. Those of you watching on all social media platforms, we greatly appreciate you being here. And, Goomba, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm always ready.
All right, because I said look, y'all. He said he's going to brush up on the UFL. He's going to brush up a little bit on the IFL. The NFL, he's solid on. You know what I mean? But he's becoming an all-around football analyst. So I'm happy to have you. You know what I mean? And we're going to get into it now. First things first, we're going to recap this draft because there are some interesting names.
I mean,
that
Hartwell
been picked up. We go. Hold on! Don't even jump the gun. I know you're ready. You're ready. Before this, look, this was an interesting little graphic here that I wanted to bring to your attention. Right? Look how many colleges have players who were signed to a UFL team. If it pops up,
it did.
There we go. Look, and the delay is real. All right. Schools with the players selected in the 2024 UFL college draft. Look how many players, or look how many schools that is, and look how many big name schools that is. You see that M, that's Michigan. You see Ole Miss. You see Notre Dame. You see TCU. You see Wisconsin, Arkansas, K-State, North Carolina. Like, you see these teams, and they're big name schools. Some of these schools are Power 5 schools.
Yeah.
What is your feeling about this when you see this graphic? What is your feeling about this in the growth of what the UFL can become as and definitely as a, I guess, what do they call it? The type of system that it would be for the NFL.
A farm system, Omar?
Basically a farm system. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. How do you feel about looking at this graphic, seeing all these schools? What are your thoughts on the future of the UFL possibly being a farm system for the NFL?
Well, I mean, you do have some big names from some big schools that got drafted. So that is one key thing. Like, my big takeaway was Sam Hartwell, because I like that kid out of Notre Dame. I thought he was a baller.
Definitely, yes.
For roster, I thought that was a little. I thought that was crime, honestly. But I feel like going to the UFL, he'll get his chance to brush up on skills, hone in what he needs to, and I think he will make an NFL roster. Maybe not next year, but the year prior or the year after. I mean,
right.
So, other than that,
2 years in the UFL for some of these guys may be the go-to thing. Two straight years.
2, 3, maybe 2, 3, or 2 or 3 years, depending on how raw they still are. Yeah.
Right.
But we've seen this happen a lot with other players, like Cameron Wake when he went undrafted and he came out and he came back to Miami, or he came to Miami and he was all pro. So
right.
I'm actually excited to see what the UFL is going to do with a lot of these players. Now you have some big name college players that actually have recognition coming to your league.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to get you more viewers, more eyes on the product, which is what you want.
Exactly. Yep. Especially if you're looking to go into a third year and thinking about expansion and bringing back some of those teams that, weren't in there last season, this past season, or this upcoming season. You know what I mean? So it's a big step forward, like you said, and for viewership, it's a big step forward for the product itself, because as we've seen with this merge this past season, the product on the field was even better than it was in 2023 in both leagues separately. So now, with the talent being split into 8 teams, we had a whole revamp of a team in a way with just the college draft. And that was the Houston Roughnecks. So let's recap rounds 1 and 2, 3, 3 and 4 and all that. Now here's your round 1 and round 2. Now, one of the names that stood out to me from round 1 is quarterback John Reese Plumlee from UCF. I know him very well. Even Jason Bean from Kansas. Those 2 quarterbacks, I know of for sure.
Wow.
Now, coming out of UCF, John Reese Plumlee has a lot to prove. And I think this was the right move for him going into the UFL college draft and getting drafted to a UFL team. I think this move for him was ideal because it gives him an opportunity to, like we keep saying, brush up on his skills and definitely get better at the QB position to be in, NFL ready.
Right.
Now, are you have you heard of Plumlee at all?
I haven't heard of him, nor have I heard of Jason Bean. I haven't watched a lot of college football the last couple of years. I've kind of fallen off of that, and that's my fault. But the position that he's
college fault.
The position that he's in, though, he's behind Luis Perez in Houston, so that's actually a perfect spot. You don't even have to. There's no pressure for him to even start because they got the king of the spring.
Exactly.
So that gives him a chance just to sit and learn, which is probably what he really needs. It's just probably just needs to sit and learn.
Yeah, definitely. Now, round 2, there's not really many names on there that stand out to me as far as their production in college. So let's move on to round 3. This is where I think we start getting into some of the bigger names that we may be familiar with, like Cameron Strutz, the guard from Auburn. I am familiar with, crazily. Imani Bailey, the running back from TCU. I'm familiar with him as well as Kalen DeLoach from Florida State. Yes.
See,
any of these names?
I felt like those 3 should have been on the NFL roster. So it's kind of criminal that they're not, but it's good that they're going to be on. They're going to be able to push their talents.
Exactly.
Essentially, Deloach.
Even Miles Battle, round 4.
That kid.
Yep, and look at that round 4 pick, 7th pick for San Antonio, or the number 7 pick for San Antonio in round 4 from Utah. Miles Battle. Definitely familiar with him. He's been a good cornerback for the Utah Utes, especially since the last couple of years. Excuse me. And I'm really feeling what the UFL is doing with the college draft, because now you got the showcases coming up, and then we're going to have another draft, and then possibly another supplemental draft before the season starts next season. All right, so let's move on to round 5 and 6 really quickly before we jump to our first commercial break. Now, in round 5, I'll tell you if I'm familiar with any of these players.
I heard of Malcolm Epps.
Aside from Braden McGregor, Malcolm Epps from Pitt.
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard of Malcolm Epps as well.
I think he's a solid tight end.
LaDietrich Griffin from Mississippi State. I am familiar with him as well.
Same thing with Rocky Lombardi. Like I mean, the last name is obviously familiar, but I do remember watching him play a little bit in IU.
Yeah, definitely. Even Dalen Holker from Colorado State. I remember him from the Colorado State game.
Yep. I feel like Rocky Lombardi. I don't know if he'll ever be an NFL caliber quarterback, but this is probably the best spot for him. I think he'll showcase his skills. Yeah, I just don't see like with him maybe a backup in the NFL. It's just I never really saw of an NFL starting.
No, I got you.
Carlos Jones Jr. though.
Okay.
I've seen him at UCLA.
He made some noise in that UCLA USC game.
Yeah,
the last 2 seasons. His name was called a couple times in both those games, so he's definitely gonna be able to showcase his skills as well. As you guys see, that's rounds 1 through 6. If you guys in the chat are familiar with any of those names, and if you think they have a chance to and eventually make it to the NFL level, let us know in the chat. We'd love to hear from you guys as well. We're going to jump into our first commercial break of the show, and when we come back, we'll break down the rest of the rounds of the UFL. We'll recap the rest of the rounds of the UFL college draft and get into the recent UFL to NFL signings as well, plus a heck of a lot more. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you download the Fuel Sports Network app on your Roku and Amazon TV and devices, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Don't go nowhere.
Same great taste. Yes, same great taste. Same great taste.
If you aren't perfect, if you've ever struggled, if you've ever failed, if you want to get better, be better, and make our world better, this is the perfect brand for you. True Victory. Founded by U.S. military veterans, True Victory is a sportswear and streetwear brand dedicated to building everyday champions on and off the field. We're a cause. Our purpose is to transform lives and elevate humanity through the power and unity of sports, positive stories, and serving others. We're dedicated to the game, the grind, and the globe. But most importantly, we're dedicated to you. That's what it means to be. Always true.
Welcome back to the Gridiron live on Fuel Sports Network. I am one of your hosts, Jersey the King, Kevin Jersey the King Wumble. And to my left, today we have guest host, football analyst Anthony Mazzoni. My guy, what's going on with you, brother?
Well,
Now,
living the dream.
hit. I can't stand you, but I love you, bro. What you said about just me, I can't with you. Okay, save it. And you know what? Drone racing is actually super dope. I've watched it. It is one of the coolest things ever. You guys should check it out if you ever get a chance to watch drone racing. It's actually pretty cool. But before the break, we were recapping the UFL college draft, and we left off going into round 7. So here we are. And in round 7, I can honestly say a lot of these names, except one, are not familiar. Well, except two: Andrew Coker and Akeem Dent from Florida State. Andrew Coker from TCU, the tackle, and
Right.
Akeem Dent, the safety. Now, Bo Braid, the safety from Maryland, I'm going to be honest, I'm not familiar with him. But a name that surprised me is Jelani Baker from the University of Limestone. Now, that right there surprised the heck out of me. I was not expecting that school to even be on a UFL team's radar, but it is. So shout out to him for getting recognized by the UFL, by a UFL team, and getting signed. That is actually really dope. So for sure. Now, how do you feel about round 7? Any names out there stick out to you?
No, no, but I've never even heard of Limestone University either. So I just learned something today. No, the only one that stands out for me, is the linebacker for Penn State, Curtis Jacobs.
And that's in the eighth round.
Yeah, Adam Coker. The name sounds familiar, but I'm familiar with his game. And then Akeem Dent.
Yeah, he's the tackle from TCU.
And Akeem Dent, the name sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure I've seen him make some plays, but that Florida State team had so much depth on defense.
Definitely. Now, round 8 names. Not even gonna lie, Spencer Rowland. I just know about him from the Duke North Carolina game. They were talking about him as far as his tackle position. A lot of these offensive linemen have been getting recognition, man. So, we definitely got to show them love for sure. But it seemed like that 8th round was mainly a guard, cornerback, and wide receiver round, as we can see, and we got one linebacker, and that was the name that stuck out to you, Curtis Jacobs. Now let's jump into round 9 and 10, because here's where those top names that we were talking about come into play. And you already see the names that stick out: Tanner Mordecai from Wisconsin, Sam Hartman from Notre Dame. Sam Hartman going to Birmingham is crucial. That is crucial, yo. I want everybody out there to know that. Sam Hartman going to Notre Dame is big. Sabrina says small Christian universities and HBCUs are full of untapped talent. The personnel guys in the UFL usually do a good job, so I think he must be something. JUCOs too, junior college. You know what I mean? So definitely, I get exactly what you're saying, Sabrina, and I agree 100%. They are looking at the HBCU schools and the JUCO schools more than the NFL. Now, another name that sticks out to me, and even the team that he was drafted to, which is funny. It's like LeBron and his son being drafted. Oh, there's an echo. fix your mic. But yeah, LeBron and his getting his son drafted to the Lakers. Do you see the name? Bob Stoops is the coach of the Arlington Renegades, and Drake Stoops, I believe that's his grandson, is now on the Arlington Renegades. Love it. I love it. I love it. That is hilarious. Oh, that echo is crazy. Are you guys hearing that echo too? Anyone watching? So that's nutty right there.
Fix up.
That's our draft recap.
Better?
But Sam Hartman. There you go. Yeah, that's better. Sam Hartman, Tanner Mordecai, and Drake Stoops were the big names
Take the headset off.
9 and 10. There we go. So yeah, Drake Stoops, Tanner Mordecai, and Sam Hartman were the big names for me that stood out in rounds 9 and 10. Because if you follow Wisconsin football, go ahead.
I was gonna say Tanner Mordecai stands out as well, though.
Yeah, that's the starting quarterback for the last 2 seasons for Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he had as well. Sam Hartwell was just a big name, though.
Right.
That was
now,
who I was surprised
know
was
who Omar Brown is. Huge Nebraska Cornhusker fan. You guys should know this already. Say again.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm just really surprised that Sam Hartwell wasn't on an NFL roster. I mean, he had some big games
me too. I'm sorry. Yeah. Me too. Yes. Like the USC game. Just saying.
The USC best one. He beat Caleb Williams.
Right. So for him, but throughout the season, he was a little up and down. And so I get why possibly he did not get the NFL look. But him going to the UFL gives him an opportunity to hone his skills, develop even better, and become possibly a NFL backup or a starting quarterback in the NFL. Now, this leads us to our next topic, which is the UFL to NFL signings. Now, again, for everyone who doesn't know or just getting into the UFL, these were the first players after the season was over who were signed to teams. Now, Jake Bates actually has an opportunity to become the starter for the Detroit Lions because their kicker was recently injured in practice, and it's actually a season-ending injury. And then Jake Bates in practice went 6 for 6 and cleared 2 50-plus yard field goals with ease. And a lot of people are asking, well, does Detroit practice in an outside field or in a domed field? But here's the thing. It's training camp. And most of the teams don't play at their home field, or train at their home field, or even their practice field at home. Most teams go to a whole nother city to do their training camp. So I'm not 100% sure where the Detroit Lions do their training camp at, but if he's kicking in the outdoor field and he's kicking 60 or 50 plus with ease, then it's safe to say that we may have another Brandon Automatic Aubrey story on our hands.
I mean, honestly,
the St. Louis Battlehawks, he has been given a workout with the Detroit Lions as well. So we may see 2 UFL kickers on the Lions roster this upcoming season.
Is that me? Is my name on his? Allen Park, Michigan. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Michigan Panthers got signed, as well as wide receiver from the Birmingham Stallions, Kevin Austin Jr. Now, respectively, the wide receiver rooms for both teams. In my opinion, I feel that they both need a wide receiver, and these two performed very well in the UFL this past season, and I think they deserve their shot.
Well, I mean, with New Orleans, they're pretty deep at receiver with Olave, Michael Thomas. Oh man, I know they got one other player, brain fart. But it's always good to have depth, and Kevin Austin Jr. did extremely well in the UFL this year. Marcus Sims, not too familiar with him though. No, we haven't heard. It's 10 of the try the 5G one.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There we go.
I was making sure you guys.
These two signings.
All right. There we go. I wasn't sure if it was
What's your thoughts on? Oh no, you're good. What's your thoughts on these two signings? Marcus Sims going to Seattle, and Kevin Austin Jr. going to New Orleans.
Well, Marcus Smith, that's kind of a logjam in Seattle. Too, because you got Tyler Lockett. There's Sims. You got Tyler Lockett ahead of him. The guy they drafted last year, I can't even pronounce his name, and then DK. So he's probably gonna get some opportunities.
Oh, Jackson and Jumbo Smith.
Yeah, the guy with more syllables than letters. That kid's a monster. As far as the kid who went to New Orleans, I think he'll have a chance just because I believe they're just done with Michael Thomas and they're trying to move him anyways. So it gives him an opportunity to possibly get into the game and actually get some more actual reps. I mean, it's good for
Gotcha.
them. They can produce in the league or not. If they can have the same success in the UFL, then yeah, they're going to be definitely solid players. They're going to give you anywhere between 8 to 1,000 yards and probably 7 to 10 tutties. Depends on how many volume. It depends on the volume of targets.
If they're utilized the right way.
Yeah. I mean, it really does. It depends on the offense. It depends on the coaches and how they scheme for these kids. It also depends on what the coverage is dictating that week, though, too.
Yeah, definitely. And Sabrina. Okay, right, exactly. Now, Sabrina, if you're still watching, you're right. Someone finally picked up Sal Cannella. He has been signed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think he has a really good shot at making the roster and making that tight end room. I really think he has a shot. Tampa Bay needs some help in the tight end position, and I think that's why he was finally looked at and finally picked up after the season that he's had. Hell, after the past 2 seasons that he's had with Arlington, he's finally getting his look because he didn't get looked at last year. You know what I mean? So definitely to your point, Sabrina, I believe this is a good move for Sal. Now, on Nate Brooks, on the other hand, he's going to have a tough battle trying to get making in that cornerbacks room, but there is an opportunity. You know, most teams have 4 to 6 cornerbacks on their roster. So I think this is a good move for Nate Brooks as well. I think both of these players landed in a good spot for them. What's going on, Elizabeth? Welcome in.
Well, with Sal Cannell,
talking mess. How about that? All right. So next we got
Julian Davenport. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, let me put it back up for you. It said Sal Cannella.
So, yeah, I like that pickup. That gives Baker another weapon. It gives them chain moving tight end. So that's
definitely
really smart Bucks.
Definitely. Your thoughts on Nate Brooks to the Bengals? Think he's going to be able to make that cornerback room?
I think he will, just because you need depth, especially at that position. Injuries happen all the time, and with corners you can move them to safety if you need to. So it gives them somebody that gives them flexibility, I should say.
Definitely, and if he's a good returner, he could be utilized on special teams in the return or even blocking. Now, Elizabeth, to your point, I am very proud of Julian Davenport as well. Both of these gentlemen, Chim Okorafor, as well as Julian Davenport, making it to NFL rosters or getting signed, excuse me. I think Davenport has an opportunity to make the roster in Atlanta. You know, Atlanta's trying to beef up their roster and get better. They're trying to bring in more talent, especially with the moves that they've made in recent years. And this past offseason signing Kirk Chains, a.k.a. Kirk Cousins. So I think it's a really good move for him. He's joining as another UFL player from St. Louis Battlehawks as well. So Atlanta's not playing around. They're definitely utilizing the UFL to get talent. So shout out to those guys, the offensive linemen getting their love. Then we got Javen White and Nehemiah Shelton. Javen White going to the Chicago Bears at the linebacker position. Nehemiah Shelton going to the New York Jets at the cornerback position. And as you see, the Jets are trying to add more talent to that defense, as well as the Bears. And they're looking at the UFL to honestly help with that talent pool and bringing in that talent. So this is huge for these guys, man. This is definitely huge for these guys. But here's the one I wanted to talk about the most. And I know we missed our commercial break, but we've been having some technical difficulties, so I just wanted to knock all this stuff out. My guy. Shout out to Keandre Thomas going to the Carolina Panthers. You know, the Carolina Panthers need depth, they need talent, and of course, why not go to the UFL? But my guy, the UFL regular season MVP. My guy, the UFL championship MVP. The one I was telling you guys about all season long, representing Nebraska as well as K-State in college. The man, the myth, soon to be legend, Adrian Martinez. 9 a.m., as I like to call him. I told y'all this man was going to make an NFL roster this season. And look what he did, y'all. Look what he did. Look what he did, y'all. I told y'all that man he made it NFL. I told y'all. I told everybody about 9 a.m. Nobody wanted to listen to me. Jersey, you don't know what you're talking about. He's not that good. Well, it took two seasons in a spring league, and he's on an NFL roster. And he didn't even get any real playing time when he was on the Jersey. He didn't really I don't even think he's seen the field one season or one game in 2023 when he was with the New Jersey Generals in the USFL. Then he becomes a starter in the UFL for what team? Out of all teams, the Birmingham Stallions. And then Skip seen something in that young man and he showcased his talent. Just saying.
Hey, man.
So shout out to my guy, 9 a.m. How do you feel about it? Didn't I tell y'all? And I told y'all 9 a.m. was going to be a problem. He was going to make an NFL roster.
I like Adrian Martinez in Nebraska. I thought he was actually a really solid player. He just had some developing left to do. His decision-making was the biggest thing, in my opinion. Like, that's where he had to get better, was making decisions and not forcing so many bad throws. I'm not sure if it's mine or not. I'm sure it's mine.
Their offensive scheme for himself there, he would have been utilized better and he would have stayed at Nebraska and would have never transferred to K-State. That's just my personal opinion.
I don't disagree with you on that. Like,
definitely.
I mean,
I'm just saying. Now,
I'm just
really quickly. No, I got you. I told everybody it happened. So Jersey's right a lot. You know, I may not be always right all the time, but I'm right a lot of the time. Just saying. But a team that I was talking about that did a huge overhaul this offseason so far before the college draft and now using the college draft to bring in more young talent, the Houston Roughnecks literally let go of almost half their roster and then utilized the college draft to start building back up their roster.
Well, they know what they're doing over there. So
a new general manager. Curtis Johnson is no longer the general manager. It is now. Yeah, they literally revamped their whole roster basically. Yes, he is now the new general manager, Will Lewis. He is now the new general manager of the Roughnecks. So more than likely, he will be making decisions for the players as far as draft decisions, player personnel decisions, and, bringing in the talent for this team now. They had an abysmal season last season. I still personally don't think that Curtis Johnson is head coach material. I think they should go and get another head coach. But this is a step in the right direction. And I feel that they could possibly make some things happen So we'll see. We'll definitely see. Now, let's quickly jump into some NFL news real quick. Two players got their bag. Two players got their bag. And when I say they got their bag, boy, they got their bag. Jordan Love and Tua Tagovailoa just signed massive deals, massive extensions. I believe Jordan Love's is for 4 years. What, 200 and how much?
20 million.
20 million?
220, I think.
And then Tua got his. And
for 212.4
Tua's bag
is 2 or 4 years, 212.4 million.
Making him the third highest paid quarterback
in the league at the moment. Yes, right behind both Burrow and not Herbert.
Jalen Hurts.
No, not Jalen. Trevor Lawrence.
No. Oh yes, Trevor Lawrence because of his new extension.
Yes,
but Jordan Love got the biggest bag out of these two.
Yes,
Jordan Love's current contract extension that he officially signed today for 4 million or 4 years, 220 million, makes him the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. Which is funny because with all these big signings and extensions that these quarterbacks have recently had over the last season or two, Adam Schefter reports that basically Dak Prescott's sitting back and waiting to receive an even bigger contract than Jordan Love, which will make him the highest paid quarterback in NFL history if it were to happen. But on top of that, we have an issue in Dallas. CeeDee Lamb is holding out right now.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons said he's really not too much worried about the contract this season. He will be more worried about it next season. He's worried about building a legacy with the Cowboys. Those were his exact words. Quote, you can quote Micah Parsons when he said this. He said, I'm not worried so much about the contract this year. I'm worried about building my legacy in Dallas. So Micah Parsons plans on being a Dallas Cowboy for his career. If that's what I'm gathering from that statement. So we'll have to see if CeeDee Lamb resets the market after Justin Jefferson getting his new contract, resetting the wide receiver market. I think CeeDee Lamb is going to have an even bigger contract. And honestly, I think Micah will get his contract, but we might be able to wait till next season. We'll give Micah his contract, and that's when we will have to worry about Dak as well. We don't really, because we don't want to really release Dak and then have to owe him all this money and be married to Dak Prescott for the rest of our lives or the rest of his NFL career. You know what I mean? So we got to figure something out. Either trade him or something, or I don't know. We got to figure something out. And I think we should have drafted a QB to put in that QB room to learn under Dak and either got rid of Trey Lance, or if Jerry was really eyeing Trey Lance when he got drafted and we weren't able to get him. So, I mean, my boy might just have to go. Cooper Rush might just have to go, y'all. And it sucks. It sucks. But Cooper Rush might have to go. So it is what it is. I'd keep him too. I'd definitely keep him. He's been playing awesome for us as a backup. So, but let's get on to the IFL and the IFL playoffs because we only got a few minutes left from the. But now we're going to talk some IFL. The Indoor War playoffs are here for 2024, and we've had a game last night. The Green Bay Blizzard did exactly what I said they were going to do, and they steamrolled the Quad City Steamrollers. They froze. I felt that they were going to win. I felt it, and they beat them by 11. It was a close game, but like I said, that blizzard came through there, and Quad City just couldn't get that steamroller through the track. So, I mean, shout out to Green Bay advancing in the playoffs already. This is what our bracket is looking like for the remainder of the playoffs. After that, Green Bay Blizzard win, they are waiting for the winner of the Frisco Fighters and the Massachusetts Pirates, which will be played today at 6:05 Central Standard Time, 7:05 Eastern, 4:05 Pacific. And then tonight as well, we have the Vegas Nighthawks, the real cacaw, taking on the Arizona Rattlers. Looking to Vegas is looking to not only make history, but this is the first time they're in their first time their franchise has made the playoffs in the 3 years that they've been in the IFL. And we're hosting our first playoff game. And the national championship is being held in Vegas at Lee's Family Forum in Henderson. So they have an opportunity to make it to the championship and host it. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I actually think that they have a real chance of beating Arizona. It's going to be a tough game.
Does Vegas have a shot?
Yeah, I mean, they have a real shot. They're at home. Don't get me wrong, Arizona, the Rattlers are a tough team, but I do feel like they can still pull it out at home. That home crowd's probably going to be electric. Yeah, no, I really think that
yes, sir.
They actually at making that championship game. Now, depending on who they play in the conference championship is a whole different story because those Bay Area Panthers are tough this year.
They are.
But that whole West,
and we went 1-1 when it comes to head-up matches. Vegas won in Bay Area, and then Bay Area came to Vegas and won. So we're 1-1, and it looks like if Vegas does move on and Bay Area does move on, Bay Area will have home field advantage. So we'll be playing in Bay Area for the chance to play back home in Vegas and host the IFL Championship. So it's going to be awesome. I think, but like I said, I think Bay Area pulls it out. I think Vegas pulls it out. Green Bay already won. And I think Frisco is going to pull it out. And I think we get Bay Area versus Vegas in the semifinals, and Green Bay versus Frisco in the semifinals in the East. So that's my pick. And then next week we'll definitely pick who we feel is going to be playing in the championship. So this is for all you IFL fans. Use your team's nickname as the use team code to get a discount on the IFL National Championship tickets. So make sure if you're like a Blizzard fan, you use Blizzard. If you're a Frisco Fighters fan, you use Fighters. Bay Area Panthers, you'll use Panthers. So on and so forth. So make sure you guys get your tickets. And last but not least, y'all already know, before we get up out of here, I know we're supposed to take another commercial or 2 commercial breaks, but hey, it is what it is. Technical difficulties stopped all that. But y'all know it's my favorite time of the show. Mail time, baby. You know, I love it. Definitely love it. Get asked, how often are good players overlooked in football? Could it be in profit or skill? Like, which player is more profitable? This player has more skill. This player is more profitable. So we're going to overlook this player with the skill and market this guy who's profitable. Do you think there are a lot of players who go through that and get overlooked from a guy who's more marketable or based on their skill?
I feel like it's based on where you're at, especially in like the college situation, where if you play for a big name school, it doesn't matter if you're skilled or not. You're probably more marketable, because we see a lot of these like historically black colleges, Division II schools, Division III schools, where you have kids that are just talented, who's never really got to showcase their skill on a national
Falling
stage.
out of control.
And then they get to the NFL
Right.
or the UFL or CFL, and they ball out in comparison to these kids that went to like Michigan or Ohio State, and just because they went to a big name school and they're on TV all the time, they get to the league and then they flame out because they're not as talented. So yeah, I feel like players that can easily make you more money are gonna get showcased over the players that have that raw skill. It's just how it is nowadays. It's all about it's about money. And it's how can it's the most amount from the players I have on my team.
Definitely. And then the NIL deals are coming into play, and it's like the players who get those NIL deals are the players who are getting looked at. But like you said, there's kids in Division II, Division III, JUCO that are better than some of these guys and have that pure raw talent, and they're getting overlooked. So yes, to answer your question, it is really true that good players with raw talent get overlooked a heck of a lot more because there's another player who has talent. He's good, but he's not like this Division II kid who's getting overlooked and just breaking records at the Division II school, things like that, and could come to a Power 5 school and do the same thing, but they're getting overlooked because this guy's more profitable. This guy has an NIL deal, things like that. So it does happen. It definitely does happen. Now let's move on to the off-topic question. Hit asks, what is the strangest last name you have ever encountered? I love this question today. I really do. I'm going to let you go first, though, because mine is actually pretty funny. And it's recent, too.
Strangest last name I've ever come across or ever encountered?
He said, yes, he said that the strangest last name he's ever encountered was in high school. He knew a kid with the last name McFlurry.
I'm trying to think, like,
you got anything close to that?
No, I mean, not really, because I guess my last name, but that's it. I've never really seen anybody or talked to anybody with like a really strange last name. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe I don't get it out enough.
Or unique. Or unique. It could be a unique last name, like McFlurry.
I have talked to a girl whose last name was Patience, and she had.
I love it. I love it. He said her last name was Patience, but she had none. I love it. Actually, for me, it's been recently, because I told everybody, I work at the Encore Hotel and Casino out here in Las Vegas, one of the most prestigious hotels in the world, actually. And I run into a lot of, wealthy people. And there was a person that I ran into recently whose last name was Plumber. And they were actually a plumber. I ran into another person whose last name was Jacked, and dude was jacked. Like his last name was Jacked. And he's like, when I tell you I come in encounter with some strange names, I definitely do. Thank you, Hitman. Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate you, bro, for the fan mail. And if you'd like to send in your fan mail, you can do so right here.
Mail time.
Yeah. All right. That's going to do it for the show today. I want to thank you, Anthony Mazzoni, football analyst. Now he can call himself a true football analyst because he's covering multiple leagues and being able to break down multiple different types of football, whether it be spring football, indoor football, outdoor football, and professional football, the professional football outdoor level, which will be the UFL and the NFL, but you have spring, and then you have the indoor level, which is mainly the spring league. So now he can call himself a true football analyst because he's breaking it all down, y'all. But we want to thank y'all so much for tuning in today on this edition of the Gridiron. And again, follow us on all our social media platforms as well, right here. And you can follow all of Fuel Sports Networks. If I can get to the banner, boom, follow us there on Fuel Sports Network for sure. Come on,
Expanded.
pop up. There we go. Banner's acting crazy today. But there you go for Fuel Sports Network and for the show. Also, you can follow Gabe. Y'all already know, go follow Gabe and send your fan mail questions to the Gridiron Nation show at Gridiron Nation Podcast at Gmail. You can send in your fan mail questions to the Gridiron Podcast at Gmail as well. So I want to thank you all for tuning in today. I want to thank you all for supporting the show. I want to thank you all for supporting Fuel Sports Network. And if you haven't already, download the Fuel Sports Network Roku and Amazon app on either your Roku TV, Amazon TV, Roku stick, or Amazon Fire Stick. Rig Rocker, what's going on, my brother? Super fan of the Houston Roughnecks. Man, I'm going to have to talk to you later on. I'm about to go to sleep, actually, but I'm going to have to talk to you later on about that overall that was done in Houston. So I'll be hitting you up later, brother. But I want to thank all of you guys who tuned in today. I really appreciate all the love and support and what you guys do, making the Gridiron what it is. And I will catch you all next week live right here on Fuel Sports Network. Anthony may be in attendance. He may not. You never know. Gabe may be back. You never know. A-Train might be on. There might be someone else. We never know. Anything is possible right here on the Gridiron. I love y'all. I want to thank y'all again for tuning in. Yes, sir. Anthony, again, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming on, filling in for Gabe, and doing a wonderful job, man. You keep up the great work, and we'll see you possibly next week right here live on Fuel Sports Network. Before you go, let everybody know where they can find you, because I know we all know you are a streamer. He does do some gaming streams, and we have a lot of fun when we talk our mess on there.
So I mean, you can find me on YouTube, but I also do have a TikTok, which is Stories to Tell After Midnight. So I have a horror channel for that as well. So if you're interested in that stuff, feel free to follow that. Other than that, you can look me up on Facebook. And that has a link to my YouTube. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I already have a lot of social media. I do appreciate Jersey for letting me come on the show this week. I always have fun every time I'm on here. So thank you guys for listening and to my rambling and half-baked opinions sometimes.
I love it, man. Always, you already know, man. I'm definitely happy to have you on, and I'd love to have you on every week if possible. So welcome to the Fuel team. Welcome to the Fuel family. You are officially one of my concurrent guest hosts, and possibly you guys might be seeing him on his own show on Fuel Sports Network in the future. So be on the lookout for that. You already know I'm the program director of Fuel, so I'll keep you guys in the alert with all the program alerts for Fuel for our new shows that'll be coming out within the coming months and over the course of the next year. So you guys tune in and make sure you didn't go nowhere at all. We will see y'all next week, and I'll catch you guys Thursday right here on the Jersey the King, or on the Jersey the King show right here on Fuel Sports Network as well at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love y'all. I thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a beautiful rest of your Friday, and we'll see you next week. This is the Gridiron live on Fuel Sports Network. Holla at ya, boy. Peace out.